All right, I'm just going to come out and say it and be 100% transparent with you guys. Is I thought about giving this podcast up. I really did. I've been struggling lately, and I think it's just because of all the guest episodes that I've done. I've kind of not lost the reason why I started this, but I guess I haven't been able to formulate my own thoughts and really push the thought-provoking content that I really saw for this podcast. But the beauty of this new visual season and getting back into a posting rhythm, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays, that was my original posting rhythm, I'm back. So I will be here Tuesdays, just me, visually now. Hello. And Thursdays will be a guest episode, or let's say I don't have a guest that week. You're stuck with me twice. Anyway, I thought today's topic was perfect to tie into that thought that I almost thought about giving this up. And there's been so many moments where I have not been motivated. But that's because motivation is flaky. Motivation is never showing up. So what are you going to do about it? And that's what we're talking about today. So let's get into it. Okay, let's be real. If you're sitting around for motivation to show up at your door like some Amazon Prime delivery, you are already thinking wrong. Motivation is a flake. She is a flake. Let's just call it how it is. She does not text you back. She ghosts you when you need her most. And she sure as hell is not going to knock on your door and magically make you do the thing. So let me just save you some time. Motivation isn't showing up. Ever. And I know that probably stings. It stings me too, because we've all been there. I just need to get motivated. If only I could get motivated. Like, motivation is Amazon Prime and it's going to be delivered in 2 days. If we just wait long enough. Spoiler, it's not coming. So then the real question becomes, if motivation isn't coming, what are you going to do about it? We have been fed this lie our entire lives that motivation is the key to everything. Like, just get motivated and you'll lose the weight. Get motivated and you'll finally start that business. Find your motivation and you're going to magically fix your life. It's bullshit. But motivation feels good in the beginning, right? That rush you get when you buy the new planner, or you finally sign up for the gym, or you finally download all the workouts, or you finally tell everyone or post that you are going to do the thing. That hype, it feels powerful, but it is fake power, because what happens the moment that it starts to get hard or boring or inconvenient? Motivation bounces. She's out. And then you are stuck sitting there like, what's wrong with me? Maybe this just isn't meant for me. Why can't I stay motivated? Maybe I'm just lazy. Maybe I'm not cut out for this at all. Does any of that sound familiar? But you are not broken. You just built your entire foundation on quicksand. You trusted something that was never even designed to stick around in the first place. And that's the lie we've been sold, that motivation is what makes change happen. But I'm telling you, motivation is the most unreliable friend that you've got. She's going to hype you up on Friday night and she's going to ghost you on Monday morning when you need her most. So motivation is trash. I know that's not what you're used to hearing in the self-help, self-improvement space, but let me be the first one to tell you. And here's why. It's because motivation is a feeling. It's like happiness, excitement, anger. It comes and it goes, and yet we act like it's some magical superpower that we have to find before we start doing the thing. If you are building your future on a feeling, you're screwing yourself. Feelings are temporary. Feelings are moody. Feelings do not pay the bills. Feelings do not raise your kids. Feelings do not get your ass out of the bed in the morning. And when motivation disappears, most people assume that means they don't have what it takes. Then they start spiraling. They tell themselves, I just don't have the discipline. Or I guess this just isn't for me. No, stop it. You're not broken. Like I said, you're depending on something that was never even meant to carry you. Let's think about a relationship here, okay? Imagine that you are in a relationship with someone who only shows up when it's fun, when you're dressed up, when it's convenient for them. And the second things get messy, they vanish. First of all, if that's literal for you, get yourself out of that situation. But let's go back to it being a figurative example, okay? Do you really want to build your growth, your future, your life on that? No. Motivation is not reliable. Motivation is not loyal. Motivation is not built to last. It is a spark, sure, but sparks don't build a fire unless you're going to put the work in to keep it going. So if motivation is trash, then what actually works? Discipline. What a shock. But seriously, discipline is boring. It's unsexy. Nobody's bragging about it on Instagram because it doesn't look glamorous. Nobody's out here posting reels of them folding the laundry for the 15th time or dragging themselves to the gym on 3 hours of sleep. But that is the real work. Discipline is keeping promises to yourself. And in that, when nobody's watching. Discipline is showing up when it would be way easier not to. Discipline is the part that nobody claps for, but it's the part that actually changes your life. And the hard part is that discipline doesn't just show up either. It's not like you just wake up one day and you're like, I am disciplined and ready to go, and I will completely do this one thing that I've been working on and I have disciplined myself in for the rest of my life. Discipline is built brick by brick. It's like a muscle. You have to work it out. You have to keep working to achieve the results that you want. And it starts with action, not motivation, not inspiration, action. Because what people don't want to admit or share with you or gatekeep from you is that motivation is actually the result of movement, not the cause of it. When you move, when you take the tiniest step, your brain catches on and is like, oh, we are doing this now. And suddenly momentum starts building. Have you ever forced yourself to do something that you really didn't want to do? Classic example for me is putting my house to bed. I don't want to put my house to bed at night. The last thing that I feel like doing after eating dinner and dealing with all the meltdowns during that and etc., right, is to clean my kitchen. I want to enjoy the only hour that me and Miguel have together. I want to sit with him on the couch. I want to watch whatever he's watching with him. I want to talk to him about my day. No, the last thing I feel like doing is getting up to do the dishes or putting my house to bed. But I'm going to do it. Once I do actually get my butt up and I get in that kitchen, I get the dishes done, and I come out in the living room picking up those toys, and I look at the end result and I'm like, whoa, this feels really good. Now I feel great. The energy didn't come from nowhere. It came from action. I created my own momentum in the same way that you do when you finally open up your laptop to start working on something that you needed to do yesterday. Or when you decided to put your shoes on to actually go get outside and get your walk in. And then 10 minutes into whatever that might be, you're like, okay, this actually isn't that bad. I feel better now. That's why small commitments matter. People think that big change is built on these like massive, dramatic moments. Like you're just going to wake up one day and feel this lightning bolt of motivation. But big change is actually built on micro wins. Tiny, boring actions that stack up until one day you realize you're not even the same person anymore. Every time you do something you didn't feel like doing, you're proving something to yourself. You're saying, hey, I can trust me. And that's something I've had to work really hard for. So if you're in that season of working on trusting yourself, trust me and understand that I understand. But you're proving to yourself that you can trust yourself, you can follow through, you can keep your word. And the more you do that, the louder the voice gets. Back to that discipline idea. Discipline is a muscle, so the more you use it, the stronger it's going to get. And eventually, you're not going to waste time waiting for motivation anymore because you know the truth. It's not coming, but you can still show up anyway. So you can sit there, you can cross your fingers, light all the candles, make the vision boards, post about it on social media. It doesn't matter. Motivation is not coming. So now it's on you. And yes, you heard me. It's all on you. And that can be scary, but also kind of the best news you've gotten in a while. Because think about it, okay? Think about it before you turn this episode off and you're mad at me for saying what I just said. If someone else's motivation was going to save you, you'd still be stuck. You'd still be waiting for the perfect moment. You would still be sitting there waiting for someone to show up and do the hard work for you. But they're not, and that's actually freeing because no one else can show up and do the work for you. No one else can show up in your life in the same way that you are capable of showing up for yourself. So, back to my original question. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to stay on the couch waiting for some invisible force to show up? Or are you going to get up even when it feels ugly, even if you don't feel like it, and do the work anyway? This right here is the moment where most people quit. This is the moment where excuses just flood in. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired. I don't know how. I'll wait until I'm ready. But then tomorrow becomes next week, which becomes next month, which becomes when? And then nothing changed because waiting never worked for anyone. You don't need motivation. You don't need inspiration. You need consistency. You need courage. You need the ability to show up when it's inconvenient, uncomfortable, boring, hard. And that's exactly what I want you to start doing today. Even if it's just one tiny action, even if nobody ever knows about it, ever sees it, that's how you build momentum. That's how you build trust with yourself. That's how you prove to yourself that you're not dependent on feelings. You are dependent on your own dang will. So yeah, motivation ghosted you. Good. You don't need it. You are more than capable. Now here's the choice. Do you keep waiting for a feeling that's never coming, or do you start showing up as the person you want to be even when you don't feel like it? Remember, not everything I say is going to hit home, and that's okay. Take what you need, leave the rest. I'm Kayla, and I will see you next time on Shift Happens.